It's at the archive.
How are you? Yeah.
Hey, you guys, I don't really see you.
So we didn't, the first week, chapter 1, chapter 2, we didn't, and I didn't really, quiz question. Did you give me any quiz questions that we went over? We only had like one.
I know I saw a lot of that, Ian's Diamond's Taco.
Yeah.
Arturo.
Have you guys seen any vending machines in this building?
One more time?
Vending machines in this building?
Vending machine?
Yeah. No.
I haven't opened a water bottle at all.
I have
75 cents.
No waters. Just need something more than water. All right, let's get started. Gonna do chapter 4 today. Now, guys, the thing with chapter 4 is probably the most important chapter in the book. And so, ask questions. Okay? Always ask questions. I said it every week. All right, so chapter 4 is talk about the supply, demand, and the market forces. Now, before we talk about supply, demand, I want to talk about the market. So, what the hell is a market? So, market is whenever the buyers and sellers come together, we call this a market. Now, a market doesn't have to be a physical location. Market can be anywhere. And really today, the biggest market we have, there are companies such as Amazon. They're big. eBay, they're huge. So those markets, they're not even physical now. So it's anywhere, even virtually, where the buyer and seller come together, interact. We call this a market. Now, in chapter 4, when we talk about supply demand, we're going to assume, make a big assumption here. We're going to assume that every market is a competitive market. That means in this competitive market that you have many buyers, many sellers. So not just one buyer, one seller, but many people in this market. It's very competitive. And then for this competitive market, we also call this a perfectly competitive market. That means in this market, that not only you have many buyers, many sellers, but also the goods everybody sell are all the same good. So no matter who you buy from, it's the same good. So now the only determining factor for consumers are the price. So the price is good, we buy it. When the price is too high, we don't buy it anymore. Let me give you an example of this. When you guys go buy bananas, do you care about which brand you buy? Anybody here have a favorite brand of bananas out there? Do you know there are different brands of bananas out there? Yeah, there's Dole, Chiquita, right? So anybody have a preference about which brand banana you buy? Like you go to the store, you see dough for like 25 cents per pound. I'm like, dough, I want to buy chicken. Anybody does that? No? All right. How about this? Does anybody have any preference about which brand of the printer paper you use? The one for the printer for at home? When I go buy papers at Office Depot, at Walmart, that will go buy different, they're different brand of papers, right? So do you care about which brand of paper you buy? No, so when you go there, just whatever is cheap, right? As long as it's white, then you buy it. Now, do you guys have any preference over which brand of toilet papers you buy? Yeah? Which one? Charmin? That's the one with the bears on it. Okay. All right. So guys, let's think about it. We don't care about the paper we read on. We care about the paper that we run our assets and sort away. Why is that? Is it because as is more important than knowledge? I hope not. Right? So the reason why is because your printer paper is all the same as long as it's white. But for the toilet papers, different brand, different texture, different strengths, and there's difference in it, right? So that's why for the printer papers, for the bananas, we call this a perfectly competitive market. That for every sellers, when they sell this paper and banana, it's all the same. The only determining factor for the consumers is the price. When the price is low, we buy it. When the price is higher than everybody else, we don't buy it from anyone, we buy it from everybody else. So for producers in this market, we call them a price taker. That means when you sell your bananas, when you sell your papers, then the price is already decided in the marketplace. You cannot set your own price. You must take the price that's already set. That's why we call each person a price taker. Makes sense? Now, on the other extreme, we call them price setter. So if you're the monopoly, you're the only company in town, then you set what the price is. It's called price setter. Okay? Yes.
So you're saying the price setter, the market is the thing that essentially is influencing the price, and
right.
For the other one, it's the company itself.
We have no market. Remember we learned something called market power a couple of chapters ago? So market power is the ability for a company to influence the price. So if you're in the perfect competitions, you have no market power. But if you're a monopoly, you have all the market power, and you set what the price is. Makes sense? All right. Now let's look at demand first. So for demand, we have our quantity demanded. So quantity demanded, it just says a different price level, how many goods consumers are both willing and able to purchase, that's called quantity demanded. So that's your one. Very cool. Does it do a calculator? No, it's just a watch. Yeah, you do see. Guys, seen this before? Guys, if you ever visit Afghanistan, not saying you will, and there's nothing there, don't ever go. Okay. But if you ever go visit Afghanistan, do not wear that watch with you. And the reason why, because Al Qaeda issues that watch to every single soldier they have. So for the US military, when they're over there, when they try to catch Al Qaeda fighters, looking for the watch. If you wear the watch, that's a giveaway. Okay, so do not wear that. All right, so we have quantity demanded. It is how many goods that we're both willing and able to purchase. It's called quantity demanded. So how much was this watch? $21. Okay, so let's suppose the price for it is only $3. Would you buy more of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's a very good watch, very reliable. So that's the one. So that's the case. So when the price is high, we buy less. When the price is low, we buy more. Right. So how many you buy? That's called quantity demanded. Now, and then this concept that when the price is more expensive, we buy less. When the price is cheaper, we buy more. This concept is called the law of demand. It's very common sense, right? So holding everything else constant, so nothing else changed. But when the good getting more expensive, we buy less. It's getting cheaper, we buy more. Now, is there any good you buy that actually violate this law of demand? That when the price is high, we buy more. When the price is low, we buy less. Anything?
College.
So when college is
Tuition.
okay, let's think about it. So when tuition is more expensive, we're gonna demand for more college.
Well, it's higher than it's ever been, and more people are going.
Yeah, but not because the price holding everything else. I mean, you're right. Guys, if you look at the price of tuition, it is the highest ever. So, but the demand for colleges has been increasing. But it's not because the price is increasing, it's because all the other factors. Because our economy today, we need a college education. 40 years ago, you don't need a college. If you have a high school diploma, you go forward, right? You can get a pretty good paying middle class job just with a high school diploma. But today you need a college degree, right? So anything else, when the price is high, we buy more. When the price is low, we buy less. It's not that much example all of this, right? So this law here, the law of demand is pretty tight. Very rarely do you ever have this violation of law of demand, but it does happen. So there is a brand of cosmetic. It's called Clinique. Right, girls? Clinique? Is that what it's called? I don't know. I don't use it. So we have them over here. Are they pretty expensive or are they not expensive?
I think they're the only thing.
All right. I'm the only user of it. Okay. So if you buy like a jar of cream from Clinique, it costs probably like $30–40. It's not cheap for a small jar of cream, but compared to other brands, it's not that expensive. If you buy Lancome, that's more expensive. And then my wife, a couple weeks ago, bought a jar of La Mer cream. For La Mer, we can only buy this from New Markets in Galleria. Nobody else that sells it. So for one jar of La Mer cream, it cost me $400 for one jar of cream. And I asked him, why it's so expensive? Do you have to buy this? Why it's so expensive? Guys, here it is. Notice this side over here. See how smooth this is? No. I don't know why it's so expensive. Okay. So, but let's talk about Clinique. So Clinique first started selling in China. Now remember, this company, they never sell in China before. So for the very first time, company price is pretty low. And then their idea is that let's price low for everybody. Let everybody try it. And when they like it, next year we increase the price. I mean, good idea, right? Not bad at all. But the problem was that for the first 6 months, nobody was buying this. The sales is very, very low. Nobody's buying this. And then company decided, let's do something else. Let's change it. We're going to keep the same design, same container, same advertising, everything the same. Only thing we change, we double the price. So the price went up overnight. And guess what? The sales went up. Any idea why that is? The thing is better brand, very good, right? So sometimes when we have a limited number of information, and all we know is the price of the good, then we have this misguided judgment that we believe that we pay more for something, that this thing must be good thing about, right? So when that happens, consumers saying, oh, we're paying a higher price for this must be a very good point. Let me try it. That's what the sales went up. Make sense? Now, this is not just limited to the Chinese consumers. You guys do the same thing. You do the same thing, really do. So imagine you're very thirsty. You go to the store, you go to the gas station, want to buy a bottle of water, and right now there are 2 bottles of water in front of you, one for $1, one for 5 cents per bottle. Which one do you buy? Buy the $1 bottle or do you buy the 5 cents bottle? 5 cents. It's 2 bottles, you never heard it before, so 2 different things never heard it before. One for 5 cents, one for $1. Which one do you buy? Anybody here who buy the $1? Nobody?
Water is a poor example.
No. The water is a perfect example. Guys, water is water. No. The water is not water. So that water that's for 5 cents per bottle. Maybe there's a reason why it's 5 cents per bottle. Right? Maybe it's the water from Mexico. Or maybe it's water from Flint, Michigan. That's why it's so cheap. So when that happens, the consumer tend to pay a higher price for this. Make sense?
But if the only information you have is price, why wouldn't you rather pay more?
Well, because you're not sure what's in it, right? So we have this misguided judgment that we believe that we pay more for something must be good. I mean, same thing when you guys go. When you go online and buy the mail order bride. Not just kidding. Just kidding. All right. All right. So a demand schedule. A demand schedule is a table shows you the relationship between the quantity demanded and then price of the good. So for this example here, we have different price level and then different quantity demanded. Notice how when the price is increasing, so we go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the quantity demanded is decreasing, right? So go from 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, and 6, and 4. So between price and quantity demanded, they go in opposite directions. They're holding everything else constant. So same container, same quality, same location, same everything else. Then when the price is increasing, we buy less of this good because it's getting more expensive now. And then vice versa, when the price is low, we buy more of this good. So between price and quantity demanded, they will go in opposite directions. And that's because they're law of demand. Okay, make sense? By the way, guys, how much is too much for a cup of coffee? Now when you go to the store, you see, oh my gosh, $5 for a cup of coffee? Get that, I'm gonna find it. So how much for a cup of coffee? How much was the maximum you ever paid for a cup of coffee?
I've never drank coffee.
Never gone. You miss out. How much?
$5?
$5?
Yeah, I paid $5 for a cup of coffee.
Anybody pay more than $5 for a cup of coffee before? Yeah, how much? $8? Renaissance?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those places are always really good. Yeah. Anybody pay more than $8? Okay. So the most I ever paid, it was €20 for a cup of coffee, like a small cup of coffee. So it's about like $23, $24 for a cup of coffee. Now the reason why it's so expensive, it wasn't even good coffee. It was like a very terrible coffee. But so it was me and my wife, so 2 cups of coffee, and I also had a slice of cake, some type of cake. So it cost us about €55 for 2 cups of coffee and a slice of cake. So the reason why it's so expensive was because location, right? So we had the coffee in minutes, and in minutes they had this little like huge square. It's called San Mark Square, and then they play live music over there every night. You want to listen to the music? You want to sit down and listen to the music? You gotta pay for the coffee. So now normally when I drink a cup of coffee, it takes what, like 10, 15 minutes. So because we paid €55 for the coffee, it took us 2 hours to finish it. And we'll get done our money worth. Okay. But the 20, yes.
Was it the coffee from the discussion?
Yeah. You remember? No, that wasn't it. Yeah, they don't have it. Ask for it. They don't have it. Now, was it discussion for this week or last week? This week. Okay. So if you guys seen the discussion for this week, then we talk about this thing called a civic coffee, right? If you haven't seen it yet, let me show you a picture. Let me show you a picture. So we don't have this in here. We don't have this in Houston. In Europe. So if you guys ever go to Europe, and especially in London, almost every single coffee shop has this. So this is called civic coffee. So this coffee here, if you buy the coffee bean by itself, it will cost you about $100 per pound. If you buy the brew coffee that's already brewed in the top, so it depends where you go, it costs about maybe $30, $40, $50 per cup of coffee. So this coffee is called civic coffee. See how it looks like a payday? Right? Now, so this little like a peanut shaped thing, that's our coffee bean. Now, the reason why it's called civic, because this coffee is named after a cat in Indonesia. It only comes from Indonesia. Nobody else has it. And then the reason why it's so expensive, because this coffee, and the reason why it's named after the cat, because this coffee comes after the cat. See how there's a picture over here? That's a civic cat. So what they would do, they would keep the cat in the cage, and then see the tray underneath the cat. All right, so that's not a payday anymore. That's a cat poop. So what they would do, they would feed the coffee bean to the cat, and the cat has a very short digestive system. So when the cat eat the bean, it wouldn't be fully digested, and then it would out. And the argument is that because the cat has a very short digestive system, it's actually going through a fermentation process. That's why it tastes better than any other coffee. Okay? Now, if you ever go overseas, if you ever go to Europe, if you ever go to London, go ahead and try this, and I know what it's like. Now, my advice for you is that do not buy them over here. The reason why I do not buy them over here because over here everything is sold online. So you don't know where it comes from. So in 2010, there was a guy in California. He was selling organic civic coffee bean on eBay, and then he was arrested and then put in jail for 5 years. And the reason why that was because remember this civic coffee only comes after the civic cat. You find it in Indonesia. Nobody else has it. So this guy, when he was selling this organic civic coffee on eBay, he didn't have any civic cat. He didn't have any cat at all. He was doing everything by himself. Yeah, he would eat a bean and then sell them on eBay. So he was arrested. I think his neighbor sold him out. So he'll rest it and put it down for 5 years. Now, so which means today it's already out, okay? So I'll be very careful when buy this on today. So don't buy this online, make sure you try this over and see. Make sense? Yeah? All right. Okay, so our demand schedule is table between your price and quantity demanded. Now, from the demand schedule, we can draw our demand curve. Now, the demand curve is always a two-dimensional curve. It's always X, Y. And it's always the quantity on the horizontal axis and then the price on the vertical axis. And all we're gonna do, we're gonna plot in the points on there. So the first point we have, so 0 and 16, that's our first point. And then 14 and 1, 12 and 2, and then 10 and 3, and then all the way up. So plot all the points in there and then draw the line. So this line we have connecting all the points, this is our demand curve. So demand curve is always going downward. And the reason why demand curve is going downward, because of our law of demand. So when the price goes up, we buy less. When the price goes down, we buy more this year. So demand is always upward sloping, downward sloping. Now, you might see a demand curve that's flat. You might see a demand curve that's vertical, but you will never see a demand curve that's upward sloping. When the demand curve is upward sloping, that means your law of demand is violated. Okay? So because law of demand, our demand curve is mostly downward sloping, vertical or flat. Make sense? Now there's something called a market demand curve. So the market demand curve is just the sum of all individual demand curves. So suppose for this market, we only have 2 consumers. We have Helen and Ken. So when this market, let's suppose the price for coffee is at $0. So at $0, how much is our market demand? So between 2 consumers, how much is the market demand at $0? 24, right? So 16 from Helen, 8 from Ken, so together it's just 24 units. So the market demand is just the sum of all individual demand curves. So add everybody all together, and that's your market demand. Make sense? And I think there are a couple of questions on the quiz like this that give you a table with different consumers and ask you when the price is like $1, how much demand you have for the entire market. So just add up everybody together in the marketplace, that's your market demand. Okay? All right. Now there are a couple of factors that can shift your demand curve. Now for this demand shifter, when the demand is shifted, that represents a fundamental change in the marketplace. Your market, your demand is changed forever. And there are 5 factors for demand shift. The first factor for demand shift is called the number of buyers. That every time you have more number of buyers, your demand will increase. And then vice versa, that anytime you have less number of buyers, your demand will decrease. And so that's why many companies, they always want to branch out to a different marketplace. As the more market they go to, the more number of buyers you have. The more number of buyers you have, the higher demand you have. The less number of buyers you have, the lower demand you have. Number of buyers more, demand is higher. Number of buyers is less, demand is lower. Now, when you shift your demand curve, I know that you guys think about that if it's increasing, you shift higher, or decreasing, you shift lower. Do not think like that. Okay, so demand shifter is not higher and lower. Demand shifter is left and right. If it's increasing, you go to your right. If it's decreasing, you go to your left. Okay, so increase to the right, decrease to your left. The demand shifter, if it's increasing, you go to your right. If it's decreasing, you go to your left. Now, guys, when you finish, I want you to put your pen down. I'm gonna do a little exercise in class. And anybody do this with me online can watch it with me. Okay, so take your hand out like this. Now, so first, stick out your right thumb and left pinky. Right thumb, and left pinky. Okay, so this will be pointing to the right. Take it back. Left thumb, right pinky. So this will be pointing to the left. All right, everybody got it? Put it back. Let's do it together. Okay. So it's increasing. We're shifting to the right. Take our fingers, take our fingers. And decreasing, we're shifting to the left. Take our fingers, okay? So increasing to the right, decreasing to the left. Increasing, decreasing. Increasing? Decreasing? Increasing? Decreasing? Increasing? Decreasing? Yes, guys, just go home practice. Okay? Increasing to the right, decreasing to the left. And then you do every 40 in any other class, students in class. Okay? You can ask what you're doing, probably doing economics. So increasing to the right, decreasing to the left. Everybody got it? Yeah. All right, so for this marker here, let's suppose our number buyer is increased. So if it's increased, we'll be shifting to the right. Okay, so shifting to the right. So if you go from the black line to the red line, this will be increasing to the right. Now, if it's decreasing, you're going to go the opposite direction. So go to the left, that'll be decreasing. So again, this is not up and down. This is only left and right. So the increasing to the right, decreasing to the left. When I was in high school, my senior year, I had a speech class. And the teacher was an old Hispanic lady. She was very cool. And we talk about all kinds of stuff in class. But there are stuff you cannot talk about in class, especially in the high school environment. So every time we talk about sex, you never call it sex. You call it up and down. Okay? So no up and down, only left and right. Increasing to your right, decreasing to your left. Yes. All right, so stop thinking about it. All right, next is income. So every time our consumer income change, this will also cause a change in the demand level. And then for the consumer income, this is how it works. It depends on what kind of good this is. So for this consumer income good, a normal good, it means when the income goes up, we buy more of this, that's normal good. And then the opposite, we have something called inferior good. So inferior good means when income goes up, we buy less of this good. So is there anything you buy today that's an inferior good? Then when your income goes up, you wouldn't buy this anymore?
Ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles, right? So ramen noodles is very cheap. We buy them when we have no money. That's an inferior good. Anything else? Pretty much everything in the dollar store, right? Everything dollar store, they're all inferior good. When you have money, you don't go to dollar store anymore. By the way, did you guys go to the Costco 59 in King? You know the Costco was flooded? And then cross street was the Target was also flooded. Yeah, it's pretty bad over there. Yeah. Oh, did I tell you guys about the school update? Like when I'm gonna open again? So I told you guys what happened to the school, right? Yeah, so how the school is flooded, like 3 feet of water. So the new update is that we're gonna try to finish the keyword try to finish everything for the summer semester for next year. But more likely we should be opening more likely to be August next year. So we'll be down for the entire year. So we're gonna do this for the next semester. Okay. All right. So normal good means when income goes up, we buy more. For inferior good means when income goes up, we buy less. And then guys, for everything you buy, let me pause this for a second. This is the iPhone 7 Plus. Right? Guys, for this iPhone 7 Plus, would this be a normal good or inferior good? Normal good, right? Because it's not. This is a pretty expensive phone. Like if you buy the iPhone 7 Plus, cost what, like $700? It's not cheap at all. So will you buy them when you have money? Now, so that'll be called normal good. Now, any idea? Let's suppose that currently your income is $100,000 per year. You buy the iPhone 7. Okay. Now let's suppose next year the income increased to $1 million. Would you still buy the iPhone 7? You wouldn't buy them anymore, right? So what would you buy? iPhone 8, okay, iPhone 8, or the iPhone 10 that's about to come out. So you wouldn't buy the iPhone 7 anymore. You buy the iPhone 8, iPhone 10. So now iPhone 7 becoming an inferior good. So for every single normal good, for the normal good, they're only normal for a certain income level. And once you go over the level, it's all becoming inferior good. I mean, think about Sawgrass, the steakhouse, right? So we start with steakhouse, then a normal good or inferior good. That's a normal good, right? Because you go there when you have more money. But imagine you have $1 million. Would you still go to Sawgrass anymore? Or you go to Paris? Probably Paris, right? So for every normal good we have, they're only normal for a certain income level. Once you go over that, they all become inferior good. Make sense? All right. Oh, by the way.
Professor,
yes.
that is dependent point of view of the person or?
Depends on the person, yeah, depends on the person. But generally, normal good, when income goes up, we buy more as the entire market, that's normal good. Inferior good, when income goes down for the entire market, we buy more than the inferior good. So guys, if you look at our economy, back in 2009, 2010, the economy was in a recession, so it was way down for the economy. And then every single industry was struggling. Your car industry was struggling, they couldn't sell any cars. The house industry was struggling, they couldn't sell any houses. But there was one industry, they were doing very, very, very good, when everybody else doing very, very, very bad. This industry was the dollar store industry. Because we don't have money now, because the dollar is more often. Right? So those companies are doing very, very good when the economy is going down. But now the economy is back up now, and those companies are doing very, very bad now. Because they're inferior good. Make sense? All right. Now next is when the price of the related good change can also change to the level. Now there are two types of related good. The first one is called substitute. So for substitute, that means we buy one, we don't buy the other one. Okay? That's called substitute. So we buy one, we don't buy the other one. So if you imagine that between your iPhone and Samsung Galaxy, that'd be a substitute. We don't buy both, you only buy one. So let's suppose you're a consumer, they don't care about which one you buy, you're indifferent. So you go to a store, you go to Best Buy, they both price at $500. So you can buy either one. Now imagine tomorrow the price for iPhone goes down. So it was $500, now it's at $400 now. Samsung's still at $500. Which one do you buy now? You buy the iPhone, right? But for the Samsung Galaxy, nothing changed. Same phone, same price, same location, same everything. Only thing changed is the price for iPhone, which is a substitute for Samsung Galaxy. So for two good, when there is substitute, when the price for one goes down, the demand for the other one goes down as well. Now vice versa, then when the price for one goes up, so imagine the price for iPhone goes up very high. So for the new iPhone 10, it's priced at $1,000, then it's too expensive now, so customers buy more Samsung Galaxy. So during the announcement day, when Apple announced the new iPhone 10, if you look at the stocks for Samsung Galaxy, for Samsung, actually went up a little bit. And the reason why, because there's something good. So investors believe when Apple priced the phone at 1,000, there will be a higher demand for Samsung Galaxies. So there's something good. Right? And then the other side, the other extreme, we call them complements. Complement means you buy them together as a bundle. So imagine between your tuition and textbooks, they're bundled good. You buy them together, right? So when the price for tuition goes up, so school is getting more and more expensive now. We don't go to school anymore. We don't buy books anymore. So demand for textbook goes down. And the vice versa, if you tuition getting cheaper, then the demand for textbook goes up. Okay, so between two good here, when they're complements, then when the price for one change, it will change the demand for the other one. Make sense? Can you guys name any other complementary goods that you buy them together?
Pancakes and syrup.
Okay, pancake and syrup, all right, good. You always buy them in bottles. What else? Peanut butter and jelly. Do you guys do peanut butter and jelly at the time?
I do eat peanut butter sandwiches.
I don't know. Like for me, I like peanut butter. I like jelly. I don't ever put them together. I always put them separately. Do you guys the swirl one? Like, every time that like the one can. It's not good. It's not good. All right, it's not good. Oh, another example of this complementary good, like a shampoo and conditioner, they complementary. You buy them together. Right? And then girls, I don't know if you noticed it, like for guys, with this thing called 2-in-1. So one bottle has both the shampoo and conditioner together. Yeah, that's what I buy. It's very convenient. See this? There's also a 3-in-1. There's the shampoo, conditioner, and body wash in one bottle. Yeah, they have it. And there's also a 4-in-1. So shampoo, conditioner, body wash, and also shaving cream in one bottle. Yeah, they just come with a 5-in-1 now. So shampoo, conditioner, body wash, shaving cream, and also toothpaste, all in one together. So 5-in-1. Just kidding. I made it up. They don't have 5, but they do have 4-in-1. 4-in-1 for good. 4-in-1 for good. All right. So all those good, they're complementary good. Make sense? All right. And the next one is taste. So anytime consumer taste change, this will change the level of demand. Now, consumer taste. So the example we have is something called the Atkins diet. Anybody ever tried Atkins diet before? Because this diet, Atkins diet, was very popular back in the late 1990s, in the early 2000s. Many people was on it. And then the idea of diet is like this. It says you can eat whatever you want. All the steak, all the seafood, all the cheese, all the butter, except carb. Only carb. So no bread, no rice, no corn.
Sometimes keto, but kind of the same thing.
Same thing, yeah. Did it work?
You'll lose weight.
Yeah, lose weight.
It doesn't feel good to go zero carbs.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good at all. So for this diet actually worked for many people. They're losing weight like a lot of weight, but it wasn't healthy diet. So even though you're losing weight, but you still have like clogged arteries, so you still have like heart attacks, you have gout. So people was having heart attacks because of this diet over here. But it works. You're losing weight. Now there is a bread company. It's called Miss Beer. That's heard it before. If you go to Walmart, HEB, go to the bread section, the loaf of bread in the packet, they have Miss Beer bread. So in the year 2000, in the first quarter for the first 3 months, company sales went down by 25%. And the company is freaking out. I mean, we didn't do anything differently, right? Still the same bread, still same ingredient, still selling at the same location, still same price, everything else, but the sales went down by 25%. And the reason why was because of this, that everybody was on Atkins diet. Nobody was eating bread. So that's why the company.
Sales of bacon.
Oh yeah, sales of meat, sales of bacon, sales of steak, all went over the roof. Okay? So every time our consumer taste change, it will change level of our demand. And then really imagine there's a new study. It says the more Coke you do, the more Coke you drink, the better you do on your test. Now, will that change your behavior when you're buying Coke? Sure, right? You're gonna buy more Coke. So whenever our consumer taste change, this will change the level of our demand. And then also goes to reverse. Remember what you did last summer?
Yeah.
No, not the movie. Like, what did you do last summer? Do you remember? Remember this? Remember what this was?
Making it rain.
No. What was this? What was this? What was this? What was it? Come on. Anybody remember this?
Swipe it up to change my button.
No. What was it? Come on. Everybody was doing this last summer.
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon. Remember Pokemon? Everyone Pokemon, right? So hopefully I can get it. To this. Okay, all right. Now, who played Pokemon last year?
I played it with him.
What level were you? Do you remember what level were you?
I got pretty high.
Okay, so I played. I was like at level 28, so pretty high up there. Okay, and it's really a addictive game. I mean, really because of the game, we'll go to Discovery Green every night to catch Pokemon, and then we'll go to Galveston, go to Pleasure Pier at least once a week to catch Pokemon. Just to catch Pokemon. We don't even go to the beach to catch Pokemon. Yeah, and then no, we don't do that anymore, right? So the demand for Pokemon goes down. Now the reason why is because our taste here. So when consumer taste change, there's a change in demand level for the good. Make sense? Yeah. All right.
Still go to Discovery Green in the DNA, or was that just to get Pokemon?
Just to catch Pokemon. Yeah. Did you guys go to Discovery Green last summer at the same time?
It was crazy.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
When it first started, we went to Herman Park. Now it was like 11, 12 o'clock at night. And normally, if you go to Herman Park at that time, the park is empty. Now, during the early days of Pokemon, you can't even find a parking space over there. It's all packed, and there's so many people there. You also see some people selling like a cold drinks. They make a lot of money doing that. Okay, or not anymore. Not anymore.
Everybody was buying those portable battery packs for your
Yeah,
phone.
to charge the phone, right?
Your phone in an hour, so.
It was crazy. All right, so last one that can change our demand is called expectation. So expectation. Now this expectation is on two fronts. It's the expectation for the future prices and the expectation for the future income. So now this is the consumer expectation. Now let's imagine for sure, you know, that next week you're gonna win the $5 million lottery. So for next week, for sure, you're gonna have $5 million. Now, will that change your behavior today? You drop out, okay, all right. Early retirement, right? Go buy a big house, even though you don't have money now, but you have money in the future. So this, when you expect then your future income is higher, then this will change your today's consumption behavior. You're gonna buy more stuff today. Now, vice versa, let's suppose you know for sure that next week you lose your job. Would you buy a new car today? Would you buy a new house today? No, not anymore, right? So if you know for sure that your future income is lower, that will also change your today's behavior. Now, that's your future income, but also your expectation on the future prices can also affect the current consumption level. So for the future prices, anybody here smoke cigarette? Used to. Anybody here smoke something else? Oh, don't answer. Don't answer. So for a cigarette, how much is a pack of cigarette? $6, $7, so pretty expensive. Now, if you buy the pack of cigarette in New York City, it will cost you $10, $11, $12. So way expensive than Houston. It's not because you're getting a bigger pack or better pack. It's the same pack. And the reason why it's so expensive in New York, because in New York, they have a higher cigarette tax. And then over here, when you buy a pack of cigarette over here, about half what you pay for the cigarette all goes to cigarette tax. Now, any idea where to buy a cigarette cheaper legally?
It's a little bit cheaper in Louisiana.
But like cheaper in Louisiana?
Canada?
No, that's too far. That's too far. Now, what you do? Every time when you guys fly international, so if you fly even from here to Mexico, at the Bush Airport, they have a duty-free shop. At the duty-free shop, it's all tax-free. So if you buy like a one carton of cigarette, it costs you $30. To buy them over here, one carton costs about $50, $60 per carton, so half the price. Okay. So a lot what you pay today is for cigarette tax. So in Texas, every time we're gonna put a tax on cigarette, we always announce ahead of time. So we tell the public, says, hey everybody, we're gonna increase the tax on a Monday morning. And then for Sunday night, before the price increase, you can always find a long line outside the gas stations. Because people buying cigarette before the Monday morning price increase. Because if you expect the Monday morning price is higher, today, Sunday night, I buy more. So your expectation on the future prices have an impact on your current consumption level. Now, vice versa, if you believe the future price is lower, then today, do you buy more, do you buy less? Less, right? So that's why you don't see anybody doing their holiday shoppings like 2 weeks before Black Friday. Because you know Black Friday price is lower, then you wait until Black Friday. Do you guys go on Black Friday shopping? No? Yes? I don't anymore. When I was younger, I would do it, but now not anymore because it's too crazy. So what I do Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday, go online, everything cheaper. Okay. All right. So that's your demand curve. So for demand curve, when you have this 5-factor change, the number of buyers, income, price of other goods, taste, expectations, when this 5-factor change, you're going to shift your demand curve. If it's increasing, go to your right, decreasing, go to your left. Now, however, if only the price of good change, so nothing else, but only the price of good change, then you don't shift your curve, you're going to move your curve. So what it looks like, if you demand curve. So when you have this 5-factor change, that means your demand is shifting left or right. Now, when you have only the price change, if you go from point A to point B, that's when only the price is changed. You don't shift the curve, you move it on the same curve when only the price is changed. Now, everything else, all the other 5 factors, you're going to shift your demand curve. So increasing to the right, decreasing to the left. Everybody got it? Yeah. Okay. All right, next supply. So for supply, something called a quantity supplied. So quantity supplied is how many goods and service that companies are both willing and able to sell at different price level. That's called quantity supplied. Now, guys, if you're a company, what is your goal? Money. Different word for the money. What else?
Base profits.
Profit, right? So your goal is to maximize your profit. Holding everything else constant. So same cost, same area, same location. But if the price is going up, does company have more profit or less profit? So holding everything constant. So same cost, same number of laborers, same everything else. But when the price of the good you sell is increasing, you make more money, less money. Same amount, you make more money, right? So when this is all about the profit motive, it's how much profit company have. At a higher price level, company make more profit, they want to supply more good. Now, vice versa, if the price goes down, then company make less profit, they'll supply less of this good to supply more of something else. Make sense? All right, so we have our law of supply. So law of supply says, that the quantity supplied will be more when the price goes up, quantity supplied will be less when the price goes down. I mean, basically it just says when the price getting more expensive, company make more of this good. Or company makes less of this good. So when the price goes up, companies produce more. When the price goes down, companies produce less. Any idea which company is the most profitable company in the world? Apple. Apple. Yeah. Apple is the most profitable company in the world. Now, any idea which company is the most valuable company in the world? Any idea? Which one? No, it's not Harvard. Which company is the most valuable company in the world? That will cost you the most money to buy.
Berkshire Hathaway?
They're pretty high up there, but not number one. Any idea how to buy the company? Like if I ask you to buy Microsoft, how do you buy Microsoft?
Yes.
Or do you go to the Microsoft store? Say, hey, I own you now, right? I'll pay you everything. Majority share, you gotta buy the stocks, right? So if you go onto the stock market, if you buy all the shares, you become the sole owner for the company. So which company they would cost you the most money to buy all the shares? Who's number two? Google number two. Who's number one? Who's number one? It's not Amazon.
And that's all I have to say about that. Didn't you say you were waiting for number $7?
There'll be another one along shortly.
Now, because I've been a football star, and war hero, and national celebrity, and a shrimping boat captain, and a college graduate, the City Falls of Greenbow, Alabama, decided to get together and offered me a fine job. So I never went back to work for the Lieutenant Dan. So he didn't take care of my bubble gum money. He got me invested in some kind of fruit company. So then I got a call from them saying, we don't.
So this company is the most valuable company in the world. It's still Apple. Any idea how much cost to buy the company? Let me show you. Anybody use Yahoo still? No? Okay, so here's the thing. If you notice anybody using Yahoo, then they must be pretty old. Okay, so all the old people. But Yahoo has this one feature called Yahoo Finance. It's pretty good. So for Yahoo Finance, let's see how much it costs you to buy all Apple shares. All right, so to buy one share will cost you $155, and to buy all the shares will cost you, you guys see this? $804 billion to buy all the shares. Now, let me put in perspective how much money this is. If you want to buy the entire league of NFL, so all of the how many teams? 32 teams. It will cost you about $60 billion. So this company is worth $800 billion, which means you can buy all the NFL 13 times. That's how much money this is. Okay. Now this company, not Google number 2, and then Exxon's number 3. All right, so supply schedule. Supply schedule is a table shows you the price and the quantity supplied. We call this a supply schedule. And then for the supply schedule, if you notice, see how when the price is increasing, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then quantity sometimes also increasing, right? So going in the same direction. The reason why it's going in the same direction, because a lot of supply. So when the price goes up, company will produce more of this good. That's called a quantity supply schedule. Okay. The supply schedule is in the same direction, and the demand schedule is in the opposite direction. And then from our supply schedule, we can also draw the supply curve. The supply curve is also like demand curve. It's also two-dimensional, so x and y. So for the demand curve or supply curve is aligned with supply curve. So demand curve is always going down, supply curve is always going up. Make sense? Yeah. Now for the supply curve, there will be 4 factors that can shift our supply. Now for demand curve, we said when the demand is increasing, we go to the right. When the demand is decreasing, go to your left. For supply curve, it's the same. When supply is increasing, we go to the right. Supply decreasing, go to your left. So for the supply shifter, the first shifter is called the input price. Now input price is also known as the cost of production. So when your price stays the same, when the cost goes up, then your profit goes down, right? So when the cost goes up, then company will produce less of this good. And then vice versa, that if your cost goes down, putting price the same, they have a higher profit, then company produce more of this good. So higher cost or higher input price, the supply will be reduced. Lower input price, supply will be increased. All goes back to how much profit you have. Higher input cost, supply goes down. Lower input cost, supply goes up. Is this? Yes? So if your supply curve, if you're shifting to the right in this direction, that's an increase. Now I know it looks like going down, right? But don't, again, it's not up and down, it's only left and right. So this will be to the right, that's an increasing. And if you go opposite, there'll be a decreasing. Okay. Now next, technology. So every time your technology is improved, now this is not a technology in the product. This is technology in the manufacture of the product. So when you make this product, how much technology you have involved in the manufacture. So when the technology is improved, then it's more efficient, and produce more goods cheaper, and supply will be increased. And then vice versa, if you lose technology, so you don't have this technology anymore, then your production becomes less efficient, and your supply goes down. The number 1 job killer in America is not trade. The number 1 job killer in America is automation. Right? Robot. Even job robots. Okay. So
California.
yeah. That's right. And then guys, if you look at Amazon, the reason why Amazon is so competitive does many stuff. That's why they're so efficient. Do you want to improve or increase number of jobs in America? Reduce technologies. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that. It's just a natural progression of the economy. Right? You cannot work against it. You cannot work with it. All right. Now next, number of sellers. So every time your number of sellers change, this will change our level of supply. When we have more number of sellers, supply will go up, and less number of sellers, supply go down. So if you remember back in 2008, 2007, when we first had the LED TVs, back then there was only 2 companies making it. It was Sony and Samsung. And then for those 2 companies, back then the biggest you can buy was a 37-inch LED TV. And to buy the 37-inch will cost you $4,000. Now today, I went to Costco last weekend, and then they have a 72-inch LED TV from Samsung. It was for sale for $2,500. For the 72-inch, that's almost as tall as me, right? Because I'm 6'4", so that's 76-inch. So it's almost as tall as me. Wait, why do you laugh? I don't believe I'm 6'4". You see, guys, Look, the same with 6/4s. There are different types of 6/4. There's this toss. I'm a short 6/4. Okay, I'm short 6/4. So reason why it's so cheap now. Reason why the TV is so cheap because there are more companies making it. There are Sony, Samsung still making it. You have LG making it, Panasonic making it, Westinghouse making it, Vizio making it. So more company making LG TVs, more number supply goes up, and the price comes down. Make sense? All right, and the last one is our seller's expectation. So when the seller expectation for the future prices change, this would change our level of supply. Now, if you go to North Dakota, or if you go to West Texas, if you look at many of the oil wells we have today, many of them are shutting down. They're not producing anything right now. And the reason why is that the producer for oil, they expect the price oil in the future will be higher. And today, they will sell less, and tomorrow produce more. Now, vice versa, if they believe the future price is lower, today they will sell more, and tomorrow sell less. So how much companies expect the future prices have a huge impact on the current supply level. Make sense? Now, you guys all heard about the stock market, right? Where is that? Where's the stock market at?
Hi.
New York, right? Wall Street.
Where's it at?
Have you guys heard of something called a future market? A future market. That means, so on the stock market, you can buy and sell stocks. On the future market, you can buy future contract of actual goods. So contracts such as oil, contracts such as soybeans, corns, gold, silvers. So all the commodities we have, they call it future market. Now, the stock market is in New York City. The future market is in Chicago. The reason why it's in Chicago because this is the historical reasons. Like, remember from your history class, when we first had the railway, Chicago was a big intersection. That's when all the railway from the south go up north, and then that's where the middle between the east and west. So Chicago was this port that's transporting all the good we have. That's why Chicago, they have this building is called the Chicago Board Exchange. So on the Chicago Board Exchange, you can you cannot physically go there, but you can hire somebody, you can hire a trader, you can trade this future contract for you. So trading gold, silver, or whatever. Now, if you guys want to make money, make a lot of money, be a trader. Right? So to be a trader, the starting salary, the starting pay for a trader in the Chicago Board Exchange is at $250,000 starting pay plus bonus. Now, many of the traders on the board, they don't care about the base pay because their bonus is way more. $250 million of the base salary, and then your bonus is $2 million. Who cares about $250 million, right? So to make it, you need to do it in finance, and then you need something else. You don't qualify. I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? I don't think any of you guys qualify over here. Yeah. This is the reason why. Let me show you what it looks like. So in the New York Stock Exchange, everything's on computers. In the Chicago Board Exchange, everything's still old-fashioned. Like you still shout your price, and then somebody else heard the price and then write on paper and then do transactions. It's still old-fashioned way. Now to do the board exchange, let me Google. I know this is hard to see, but see how different people with different color shirt, they're all standing like around a circle here. This circle is called a pit. So for this circle, it's actually from all sides looking in, and at the very center circle is lower, so everybody's looking like a standing upward. So on this floor here, so they have different pit for different trade. So there will be a pit for the soybean trade. There will be a pit for oil trade. But for some pit for the smaller market, they mix everything together. But the reason why I see different color shirt, because they represent a different trade. So if I'm a soybean trader, I have a different color shirt. I'm a rice trader, I have a different color shirt. And then to be a trader, now when you're standing on the pit here, you want to be taller, so everybody can see you, right? So if you're 5'4", nobody can see you. So if you're 6'4" like me, then everybody can see you. So you want to be taller and also stronger. You want to push everybody around you. You want to be the most visible person out there. So what the company do, many of the investment company, when they hire for traders, they don't hire people like you and me. They hire traders who used to be college football players. They're tall, big, and everybody can hear them. Make sense? And then what they will do, so they will start a trade, and then everybody do sign language, because you cannot hear anybody else. You do sign language. Okay, so if I see you, let's do a trade, we'll do sign language, and then write down the trade number on the paper, and then once you have a break, go back to your station and complete the trade on the computer. But still, within the trade, it's the old-fashioned way that we don't use any computers for it. And then also when the trade is happening, this is very intense, because each trade involving millions and millions of dollars. Nobody ever did away. So there was a trade for a soybean market. This is back in 2003, and then the session just started. And then there was a guy in close to the middle of the pit. The guy had a heart attack, and then the ambulance come over. The EMS was standing outside the pit. They couldn't get in because nobody would budge. So this guy was having a heart attack and actually died on the floor. Okay, so they only got to him when the session was over. Make sense? All right. But money's good.
Did they used to handle it like that in New York too? Where you had to be 6'5" and
oh yeah, of course.
250
but
pounds?
not 6'5", but they want to hire people who are as big as possible.
Good God, they need to bring computers into
Well,
Chicago.
Here's the thing. So for those traders, remember their pay is very high. You don't bring computers, because if you bring computers, it will kill their job.
And they're big and strong. They're not going to like, oh,
And then another thing about this supply here. Do you guys know what's a medallion? A medallion. Have you heard it before? Mm-hmm. So especially if you're driving a taxi. For a taxi, you need a permit, and this permit is called medallion. Now in New York City, where everybody all take a taxi, there's a high demand for a taxi. So the medallion is actually very, very expensive. So a couple years ago, back in before 2010, for most taxi drivers, you're working for a company. The company owns a medallion. So if you want to be your own boss, you're going to buy your own medallion. So imagine paying $250,000 mortgage just on the medallion, just on the permit. Now, today, the permit is cheaper now. It's very, very cheap now. It's not as much anymore. Any idea why is the permit cheaper today?
Uber.
Because Uber, right? Because all the Uber drivers now, so demand for a taxi goes down, and then medallion is getting cheaper now. Make sense? All right. Anybody here ever drove an Uber before? No?
Written.
But never drove an Uber before, okay. So do you guys know how Uber works? So Uber works as supply demand. The price for Uber is not always the same. It depends on supply demand. So when the demand is very high, the price for Uber is very high.
Like 10x or something.
Right. So when the demand is very low, the price is pretty cheap. So a couple years ago, there was a lady from Kingwood. She was going to the rodeo. So during the day, in the early afternoon, she called Uber and then took her from Kingwood to rodeo in Reliant. It cost her about $50 to go to to go to the rodeo. And then once the concert was over, so pretty late at night, she called Uber back home. Now at the same time, the demand for Uber was very high. So on the way back home, it cost her $300 on the way back home, because the demand is higher. Okay. And then there was another story. So there was a guy from Houston. He was vacationing in New Orleans, and then he was in the French Quarter, drank too much, okay. And then he called Uber back to the hotel. And then mistakenly, he put his home address on the phone. So when he got into the Uber, he passed out, and then the Uber driver actually took him from New Orleans all the way back to Houston. And the entire trip, because it was a late at night, the entire trip cost him $1,500. Yeah. But if you're the guy, imagine you woke up, you're already at home, but your car is still in New Orleans. You have to go back to New Orleans to get your car. Okay. So that Uber is perfect supply demand. Okay. Now let's look at supply demand. So your supply curve is always going up. Yeah. That means eventually they will meet. Now this intersection is the reason why we study supply demand. We have a special name for this intersection. The intersection is called equilibrium. So at equilibrium, your quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. That means at this point here, how many consumers want to buy is all produced by the companies, and how many companies produce are all consumed by consumers. So if you look at this point over here, so at $3 on the demand curve, at $3, our quantity demanded is about 15. And then at $3 on the supply curve, it is also at 15. So which means that at $3, the $3 over there is our equilibrium. At that point, the quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. So there is no surplus and there is no shortage. Makes sense?
Sorry.
No, it's my girlfriend.
Oh, I'm not.
That's okay. All right. At this point, there are also some special properties. The first property is that at this point, you have no surplus, you have no shortage. Now, what's a surplus? There's too much stuff, right? So every time your supply is more than demand, you have a surplus. But at this point, the supply demand is equal. So we don't have any surplus, we don't have any shortage. So that's the equilibrium. Now, also at this point, anybody here watch Star Trek? Star Trek fan? Okay, you like it? Yeah. Any Star Wars fan? Wow. So between Star Trek and Star Wars, which is better? Star Wars. Oh. All right. Anybody have a penny? Check your wallet. I need some pennies. Take a wallet. Insert some pennies. Always bring cash to class. That's some pennies. Pennies? More pennies? All right, so guys, I have 2 pennies here, a shiny one and then a dark penny. So if you walk on the street, you see 2 pennies, one shiny, one dark, which one do you get? We have both. I always get both. Oh, you know what? One time we're walking on the street. We're at some shopkeeper, and my wife saw like $40 on the bar. She's like, "Oh, you want $40?" Of course, come on. So now the reason why the different colors. This shiny penny. So any penny that's made after 1986 is all very shiny. Any penny before 1986 is all very dark colored. The reason why they changed because the dark penny is 100% copper. The shiny penny is a copper coating. So only the outside is copper. So the reason why we switched is because in the 1980s, when the price for copper increased, and even today, to make one dark penny, one is 100% copper, it will cost you 1.3 penny worth of copper to make 1 penny. So our US government was actually losing money when we made pennies. So what we did, we switched to a copper coating. So this is cheaper now. So this shiny penny, this is your Star Wars. I mean, so it's nice movies, very shiny, very nice, but doesn't learn anything from it. Now, the dark penny, this is Star Trek. Now, for Star Trek, on the movie songs, on the animation movie. But if you watch the TV show, the TV show is much better. Because for the TV show, there are more time to explain everything. So we can learn more stuff from the TV show than the movies. So this is a Star Trek. And by the way, if you want to make money, you guys want to be rich, right? Sure. You do this. Go home, collect all the old pennies, you collect. Melt them down as coppers, 30% profit. Easy enough, right? But here's the thing: if you ever catch you, there's a federal fine. Right? But at least be rich. At least be rich. All right. So this intersection also behaves like a black hole. Now, what's a black hole? You will never learn that in Star Wars, but you learn that in Star Trek. So black hole is when you have a star like our sun. One day the sun will die. When the sun dies, you don't have explosion. You have an implosion. Then all the matter on the sun will contract into one little tiny object. It's a very high gravity. For gravity, it will attract everything else to it. So the gravity is so high that once you attract to it, you cannot go out of it. And then the high gravity also attracts all the light to it. That's why we call it a dark hole. Okay. So for this dark hole or for this equilibrium, that every time you are at equilibrium, you tend to stay at equilibrium. Away from equilibrium, you tend to go back to equilibrium. So let's suppose for this market, the price is not $3. Let's suppose the price is currently at $1. So at $1, I'm going to draw the line all the way across. At $1 on the demand curve, our quantity demanded is about 21 units. And then on the supply curve, our quantity supplied is about 5 units. So which means at $1, our consumers want to buy 21, but companies only produce 5. Now, we call this a shortage. Because you're gonna have 16 consumers who want to buy this good, they couldn't buy them anymore. Because when you go to the store, everything is all sold out. So when this happens, what is supposed to happen after this? What is it? Why price goes up? But why does price go up?
Well, demand is that high, the company's gonna say, oh, we can charge more.
You can charge more.
There's all those people that don't have it that want it.
Okay. What's your name? Aaron? Aaron, for this. Be careful. All right, so guys, imagine we have this market for marker, okay? And currently it's at $1. I want to buy it for $1. I'll go to the store, it's all sold out because it's only one marker. And then who bought it? Aaron bought it. So he only paid $1 for it. So for me, I need a marker. I go to the store, they don't have it anymore. Where else can I go? You go to Aaron, right? Go to Aaron.
$5.
Right, so if I go to Aaron, I said, Aaron, can you sell me this marker to me? Now, if you're Aaron, would you sell this to me for $1? You would sell for a higher price for it. A higher price, right? So this, when you have this difference here, so for this 16 consumers, they want to buy this good for $1. But it's all sold out, they don't have it anymore. So what do? They go to this 5 people who have it and says, hey, can you sell this to me at a higher price? Now, when the price goes up, your quantity supplied also goes up. So which means at this point, when you have a shortage, then eventually go higher, you go back to your equilibrium. Make sense? Now, you guys want to make some money? Yeah. Yeah. Let's do this. Today is October 10th. Yeah. So today's October 10th. The iPhone 10 will come out in November 5th. So you have less than a month. What to do after class is over? Go find an Apple store. You want to camp outside. You want to be the first one to buy the iPhone 10. Now it will cost you $1,000, very expensive. And this will be good. Once you buy the iPhone 10, don't even open it. I know you want to, but don't open it. Once you have it, on the very first day, sell that on eBay. You can sell it for a higher price. So $1,200, $1,400, $300. Now, the reason why it's a higher price is because on the very first day, there's a shortage for it. There will be some people who want to buy it, they couldn't buy it anymore, it's all sold out. What do? They go to eBay to pay a higher price for it. Make sense? And that's because of shortage. And then the same thing goes with the shoe from Kanye West, the Easy. Anybody bought a pair of Easy? No? Okay, so I have a student from another class. He actually bought a pair of Easy online from the website for only $235 for one pair, and then immediately sold on eBay for $1,000. Wow! Right. So why? Because a shortage. Okay. So when you have a shortage, the price will be higher. Make sense? Yes.
A lot of people go to concert tickets also.
Concert tickets, same thing, and also the sports game, same thing. So I have a couple coworkers. They have season ticket holder for Texans. And then when they have playoff game, they never go. They always sell the ticket to somebody else and make more money out of it. All right. Oh, the same with Did you guys watch the last game for Texans? Or we lost to the Chiefs, right? The season's over. Season's over, so don't even bother anymore. Okay. All right, so surplus is anytime you have excess supply, because it's surplus. So on top here, when the price is $5, you see how the quantity supplied is at 25 units, and then on the quantity demanded, it's at 9 units. So supply more than demand, we have a surplus for it. Now, when you have a surplus, then it's eventually price will go lower. Because now imagine that you're the company, that you produce this good, you make 25 of them, and you're selling each one for $5, but consumers only bought 9 units. So you have what, 16 units of leftover inventory, because nobody can buy them. Now what would you do with them? You do those first. you lower the price, shut down everything, right? So you're gonna lower the price, and then which means eventually you go back to equilibrium. At this point, it's the most stable solution for the market. Anytime you're away from equilibrium, you will go back to equilibrium. Okay, so that's a surplus, and then if it's below, we call this a shortage. So shortage is whenever your quantity demanded, so this is demand, quantity demanded is more than supply, you have a shortage. And another way to remember this, every time the price is more than equilibrium, so anytime over here, you have a surplus, anytime over here, you have a shortage. So price high, have a surplus, price low, have a shortage. Everybody got it? All right, I think that's it for chapter 4. All right, guys, let me show you a little exercise we're doing in class, okay? Please on the computer. Now, your first week, so this week we covered chapter 4. Next week, cover chapter 5 and 6 together. And then after next week, there'll be a first test. Okay? Again, for the first test, you have total of 3 tries. Okay? It's 1 try in person, and then twice online. Okay. All right, let me show you. Yes.
So we can bring a page in of notes. For the
Right.
in-person test is a page front and back, or just one side.
One side only.
Okay.
And it must be handwritten, cannot type.
Okay.
Yeah, guys. So on my flash drive has all the past answers. Yeah. So okay. You guys got me? Okay, now I wanted to pick this.
I was gonna say, give me one.
Like a food store in Chinatown. Food from Asia. It's all import from Asia. So a couple of weeks ago, that store got broken into. And then they didn't lose any money. They didn't lose any equipment. All they lost was food, fresh food. All right, let's look at the question like this. So you will see questions like this on your test, and also on this. So I'll give you a market, and then introduce some change to it, and after this will change our market. Okay. So let me make it bigger. Can you guys see the back? Yeah. All right. So this is all bicycle market, and then to do this type of question, this is what I want to do first. So every time we have a question like this, the first thing we'll do, before you do anything else, the first thing you want to do is to draw a blank supply demand curve. So let me show you that. You draw a blank supply demand curve. So supply is always going up, demand is always going down. Here is our equilibrium, Q1, quantity Q1, and S1, D1. So before you do anything else, draw this first. Draw the change on it, and then compare the equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity. Change, we said, remember this is only a bicycle market. Okay, so for the first change, we said the price for automobile increases. So any idea how does the price of automobile increase have an impact on the bicycle market? Now, will this change the demand for bicycle or supply for bicycle? Demand. Remember, for demand, there's one item called the price of related goods. So between bicycles and automobile, what type of good are they?
Substitute.
There's substitute, right? So we buy one, we don't buy the other one, right? Imagine the price for cars goes up. So now for each car will cost you $500,000. What do? We buy more bicycles. So demand goes up, which means we're going to shift our demand curve. The increase of demand, we shift left or right? Right. So increase of demand goes to the right, so that's a D2. Now, once you shift our demand curve, you're going to have a new equilibrium. And this point, new equilibrium. And for the new equilibrium, find out what the price is, P2, and find out what the quantity is, Q2. So price goes up, quantity goes up. Makes sense? So couple steps. First step you do, find out between supply demand curve, which one do you change? And then is it increasing or decreasing? Increasing to your right, decreasing to your left. So shift the curve first. And second, find out where the new equilibrium is. When you have a new equilibrium, find out what the price is and find out what the quantity is. And last step, compare the price and quantity, see how they increase or decrease. Make sense? Yeah, let's do one more. So for beans, consumer income decrease, and then bicycles are normal good. So again, before you do anything else, draw the supply demand curve. Okay, so draw the blank supply demand curve. So S1, B1, and then this is P1, and here we have Q1. So consumer income decrease, bicycles, are demand for bicycle or supply for bicycle? Demand, right? Again, consumer, that's the demand side, and consumer income, and this is normal good. So do we increase our demand or decrease our demand? Decrease. Remember what when the stuff you buy when you don't have money, you don't need more. So that means demand will decrease. So demand decrease, do we shift our demand curve left? Left. The D2 at D2 we'll have a new equilibrium. This is P2. And here we have Q2. So compare price and quantity. Price is going down. Quantity is going down. Make sense? Any questions?
The answer that you looking is this.
You do this, so you can get this.
Okay.
Everybody got it? Yeah. Try some on your own. Okay. So guys, try see on your own. So first, draw the supply demand curve, and then find the change on it.
Are we just dealing with demand of bicycles? Is that what the first part of the question?
Try C. The market for bicycle, not the demand. For C, think about it with this demand and supply.
Are we always trying to find what happens to P&Q, the price of the market?
Right, one. Oh, my wife bought a pair of very fluffy slippers from Rihanna. Cost like $100 some.
Bought them from Rihanna?
No, I think Rihanna designed it. It was $2 $100, $100 some. Like before I met her, I was buying everything from Walmart. Really, Walmart has good price on everything, right? You sell good stuff, good price. And also where I was back then, I was getting oven, just a oven. Yeah, oven package. So if you go 38, Highway 6, and then about another 5 minutes on Highway 6, you go to the oven. So oven at the time was a very small town. So my family was open in Chinese restaurant all the time. So by the time we closed at 9 o'clock, the entire town is all closed. Unless it was open with Walmart. So I was going to Walmart every day. And then the thing with a small town, when you're the only Chinese family in town, everybody knows you. And when I go to Walmart, everybody say hi to me. I don't know what it is.
Eats the alternative.
Did I tell you the story about my family working in Alvin? No? So my family, when they first moved to Alvin, because if you ever go to the Alvin newspaper, look at the archive, so this is 2001, you can still find the newspaper on it. So it was a summer session, it was August. On the front page of Alvin newspaper, it was the the one page, the first half page is my family picture. It was me and my parents. And the title says, "I want to become more diversified." Chinese family movie. All right, guys. So do part C. So do the draw the graph. Always draw the graph, and then find out do we change our demand or supply, and do we shift left or right, and then compare the equilibrium price and quantity. All right, let's go over this, guys. So for C, again, let's draw the supply demand curve. So before you do anything else, draw the supply demand curve. Okay, so supply, demand, price, and quantity. And here is Q1, here is Q1. All right, so for C, it says the price of steel used to make bicycle frame increases. Now, when you guys go buy bicycles, do you care about the price of steels? No, right? Who cares about it? The company care about it. So this wouldn't be on the demand side, this is on the supply side. So this is the cost of supply, cost of production. It increases, the supply increase or decrease? Supply will decrease, right? So supply decrease, we're gonna shift our supply curve now left or right? Left. So supply go to the left. So S1, S2. We'll have a new supply curve, go down, get the quantity is Q2, you get the price is P2. So if you compare the price and quantity, price is increasing, quantity is decreasing. Make sense? So before you do anything else, always draw the supply demand curve and then find out which one do we shift. Do we shift our supply or do we shift our demand? Everybody got it? Yeah? All right, let's do one more, do D. So again, draw the supply demand curve. And then first ask yourself, do we change our demand or do we change our supply? Don't worry, your answer is wrong.
Okay.
Let us learn from your mistake. Okay.
Okay.
And then guys, remember this, always low expectation. Doesn't matter what you do, always low expectation. You can never disappoint yourself. Yeah, you can never disappoint yourself. And especially for the first class, you're taking 2 weeks, lower your expectation. So instead of getting 40s, then you're getting a 45, hey, that's better than expectation.
No shoot, marker shoots the way.
What control video? So everybody can see online. Like everybody on here. No problem. Okay. All right, guys, let's see how long this is. Supply D1, K2, D1, D2. All right, so question says, environmental movement shift our pace toward bicycling. So would this be on the demand side or supply side? Well, the key word is pace, right? This is demand side. So would this increase our demand or decrease our demand? Increase. So do we shifting left or right? Shifting to the right, right? So D1 will be shifting to D2. And then here is your old equilibrium. And then this is your new equilibrium. So price goes up and then quantity goes up. All right, good job.
Wow, thank you.
All right, everybody got it? Yeah? All right, let's do a couple more. Okay. All right, do E. The consumer expect the price for bicycle to fall in the future. So today, what do we do? Again, draw the supply demand curve first, and then ask ourselves, do we change our demand or do we change our supply? And would it be left or would it be right? Demand or supply, and then left or right. Guys, when you see consumers, that means you want to be inside. This one, this is our demand, this is our supply.
For these forecasts, if you just to get information, so this can, forecasts that. All right, so we have
consumer expect the price for bicycle to fall in the future. So today, what do? We buy less, right? We don't buy today. So which means demand goes down today. So demand will be shifting to the left. To the left, the price Q1, Q2, so price goes down, quantity goes down. Very good. Okay, good answers. Now, guys, there is something called a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, let's think about what happened over here. So this question says the consumer expect the price for bicycle to fall in the future. We expect it for the future, and today we change our behavior. And because we change our behavior, look at the price. Price actually falls, right? So we expect the price to fall in the future. We change our behavior, and because of change behavior, the price is actually falling now. That's called self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, this happens all the time in the economy. And in 2004, 2007, when the consumers expect the price for houses to go up, any idea what the consumer did? We bought more houses. When we buy more houses, the price for houses is actually going up during those years. Okay. So also we have a actual credit opportunity. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday. So on the 19th, there will be a speaker at this campus, so at North Terrace. I'll let you know which room that is. So we'll be a speaker here on Thursday, next Thursday, from 12:30 to 1:30. If you come to the speech, and I want you to stay for the whole session, when you finish or at the beginning of the session, take a selfie. Make sure that, so what you do, if the speaker is standing at the front of the room, when sitting down, turn around, okay? Take a selfie, so make sure you're in the picture and then speaker in the picture. Okay, and then next week, come show me in class, I'll get you 5 points on your first test. So next Thursday from 12:30 to 1:30. What are
you trying to pick a fight with the speaker or something?
No, don't worry. I already asked you to be fine.
Oh, he's fine.
Next Thursday from 12:30 to 1:30. Yeah, I will let you know next week which one it is. Okay.
What's the subject?
So the topic is the cost of our last session or the green session. Okay. 19th. So 12:30 to 1:30. And I'll let you know next week which one it is. Okay.
What if I FaceTime someone? They're gonna be at work.
Gotta be here in person. Okay. Now, I already talked to the speaker. He's okay with it, so don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah, the speaker. Yeah, guy's pretty cool. I met a couple times. He's from King. Yes. It will be here downstairs. So he's actually from Kingwood. Some Chinese guy who teach economics from Kingwood. So he's pretty cool. All right. Any questions?
What's that recording here?
We're not sure yet, but I'll let you know which one it is. Okay? I'll let you know next week. All right. Let's take the guys do part F. Who's part F?
Is there only one change in price? They never see a constant. Always it goes up and down.
Who part F?
Nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing happens. Then what happens?
Same price.
I looked at the notes here. Yeah, right here. Supply. So it's advanced cost.
Yeah, it is.
Well, yeah, I get this app down. Price is still.
Technology goes very rapidly, and because they have.
All right, let's go over part F, guys. So what part F? Supply, demand, price and quantity. Q1. All right, so for part F, do we shift our demand or supply? Supply, okay. So this be an increasing or decreasing? So we're increasing supply. So we think supply will be shifting to the right. S2. So S2 here is your P2. Here is Q2. So which means price is going down, quantity is going up. Everybody got it? Yep. All right, and then do part B.
But one question.
Yes.
The price could be in the same place. No.
No. Because remember, we compare the equilibrium. Okay, so the old equilibrium here is your new equilibrium. See how the equilibrium is lower now? So price goes down. The price can also be the same like that.
Okay, thank you.
Next to part G. So part G says the price of bicycle, helmet, and shoes are reduced. So what happens to the bicycle? The bicycle, helmet, and shoes are reduced. What to the bicycles? Between bicycles and bicycle helmet and shoes, what happens to that? Right, so the bicycle get it. Right? All right, everybody got it on the board? Very good. Okay. So guys, let me give you a summary. Whenever the price and quantity change, whenever the demand is increasing, price will go up, quantity will go up. Okay? Whenever the demand is decreasing, price will go down, quantity goes down. Whenever supply is increasing, price goes down, quantity goes up. Whenever supply is decreasing, price goes up, quantity goes down. Okay, so that's always true. So whenever you change anything, once you finish your change, that's the final result. That's the end result. Final result.
Is the whole place kind of focused around the same as zero?
Yeah. All right, guys. We have final 10, 15 minutes. Guys, let's do this one. So you can get the right answer out of it. Okay. So for this one, you don't have one chain that has two chains there. So find out how to this pricing quantity. Count them out. So increasing demand and also increasing supply at the same time. Remember, it is increasing in the order. Compared to price and quantity. On the board. I did not.
Wouldn't it just depend on how much? I mean, if supply quadruple and demand by 2%.
Like on the pads, what answer you guys?
It's relative.
I think it does depend.
Okay, all right. Anybody have any answers?
What'd you say? I've got a couple of answers.
You have a couple of different answers? There's so many other ones. Can I tell you which one's wrong? Can I tell all of them? Anybody else with an answer? Is there any favors? They're both wrong. Anybody else with an answer? Good. So then what? Guys, for this week is only one chapter. Chapter one. Not that part. If you have any questions, always email me, ask me questions. Or find me on the Google Hangout, go to learn face to face. Or here. Oh, wait. A question mark. Why is it a question mark?
I don't know. Sorry.
It confuses as a question mark. Can't be a question mark. You know, I'm going to use
Because
this
there's two
one.
different prices, right?
Can't be two different. There's only one price. Can't be two different prices. Show me that. You try to put a question mark on the schedule. Okay, all right, so we got one more. Now, guys, hear this. So we can try. We got 3 answers. So for the first one, we showed a supply increase and a demand increase, right? So supply and demand both shift to the right, and then you go from this point to this point, and it seems that your price is the same, and quantity is increasing. All right, and then for this one here, we showed a supply increase, a demand increase, which means they both shift to the right, okay? So shift to the right, and then you go from this point here to this point here, and it seems like that your price is increasing, your quantity is increasing. And then for the last one here, we showed a supply increase, a demand increase, and they both increase. Then we have T2. It looks like price is going down, and then quantity is going up. So 3 possible answers. And the question is, which one is right, which one is wrong? So all 3 could be the possible answers. The reason why, because if you go back to the summary I showed you before, that if you look at the one before, so when demand increase, your price goes up, quantity goes up. When supply increase, the price goes down, quantity goes up. So when these 2 happen at the same time, when you combine this together, when you combine together, quantity will definitely increase. But the combined effect on the price, for price, one is going up, one is going down. So when you put it together, we don't know which one changed more. So the end result is that the change on price is ambiguous. So you're right. So the change on price is ambiguous because we don't know which one changed more between supply and demand. That makes sense, yes? All right, so let's end it here now. So make sure to go home, do your discussion homework, do your quizzes, and I will see you for next week. And then before you go, make sure to sign the sign-in page, okay? And then guys, stay safe. Okay, do not die. If you die, you cannot pass my class. Yes.
Does it matter if it's not asking to get together? If I'm just to make sure I don't shift the wrong one, can I write D or S next to the quantity?
Oh, yeah, sure. That's fine. Whatever works for you.
First, I have a question. So I was doing the discussion whenever I was watching a bit. Yes, I waited last minute, but I was watching the videos and I didn't realize you closed it at 11:40. So I was watching it at like 11:30 something. Okay. And then it closed down on me. Okay. And so I was wondering if I could just still put my discussion or no. Or do you drop the lowest grade?
Here, do this. Try to post it. If it wouldn't let you post, email it to me. I'll comment for you.
Okay. Thank you.
I think that's what you said at the end about this last question.
Okay.
Anybody who didn't sign in?
So it depends on which one change more, right? It will show a demand increase and supply increase. Now, they both happen. The change in quantity the same direction, so quantity always increases. Right? But the change in price, one is going up, one is going down. So we combine together, we don't know which one changed more. That's why the end result is ambiguous. Now, what you show, I see how your price is increasing. The reason why is because you showed a lot of demand. Now for this one, it's the same because they show that the change price is 199.
I feel like it's the same. Keep going. This graph. Once you start, it's like what I had.
It's almost the same. It's so close, almost the same. It's slightly different. So this is why, again, we don't know which one.
So for this,
So we know quantity what? the change on price would be good. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. All right, no problem. So, ask me questions.
Okay, so I totally missed the class and the class sessions.
Okay, for this week.
Yes, sir, 'cause I don't have any way.
Okay,
to access.
Don't worry, go through this one. Send an email to me. Okay, we open it for you for this week.
Okay,
Okay, so you gotta email me. So email me.
okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you have two questions?
Oh, no, I just wanted to give you an update. Yeah, about that. We're not sure yet, but they haven't told us anything on going this weekend, so they're probably not going to be. Brief about how bad things are. Probably not. Okay, that's it. Because we have 2 bases over in Florida, around the clock now, so we're laughing at them.
All right, we'll do.
So, maybe the question, I didn't do it, I just clicked one answer, and I got it right,
Okay.
but I don't know how to do it.
Okay, so what are they doing? Very difficult. So we're for the slope number is the y1 is equal to y. So 1 minus 1 still y. X1 minus x2. Now, you go to the slope. So whichever equals to 100, that means. So for this one, we do 75,000 units, equals 30,000 units over 150 actually. So this would be 5,000 on top, 50 on bottom.
So are you gonna put, question based on the text?
Yeah, every time of it.
Okay.
It wouldn't be this hard.
Okay, because I tried to do it like the way you started.
So you didn't do this for months. So
Okay.
there's only 4 of them.
Okay. Professor, for me, it's very confused about the price because some questions say that the price move is not necessary to move the quantity.
No. So, but not the quantity, but the line, the demand curve, right?
Mhm.
So there is one more slide I didn't show, but it's on the PowerPoint.
Because you put the price move in the same line. But if you put the price in a lower level, the quantity that the quantities is increasing.
All right, so here's the difference.
We have a quick question.
Yes.
For every discussion for like the week, it has to be 300 words, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
Okay,
yeah, we're
just wanted to make sure.
For this week, it's a little different. For this week, 600 words.
Okay. All right.
No, it's not.
No,
300. 300, don't worry.
Okay, we're good. All right. Thank you.
So the difference between this two over here, what is called the change in supply and the change in quantity supplied. So if your supply curve is shift, when those 4 factors change, the input price technology, when those 4 factors change, you shift your supply curve, that's called change in supply. Okay? Now, if only the price of goods change, we call the change in quantity supplied. So you don't shift the curve, you move it on the same curve. Does it make sense?
Yes, I understand the theory,
Uh-huh.
but in a practice,
In the practice,
how can do that? Because if the price move.
so let's suppose we have a supply curve here, right? So this one actually have a supply curve with a graph. Okay. All right, so for this supply curve, when the price is at $2, our quantity supplied is 6. When the price changes to $3, our quantity supplied is 9. That's an increase in price. That's how it works. Yeah, so the quantity will change, but on the same line. Make sense? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
Are you gonna give like a review for the first test?
A review will probably help you guys. So we won't have a review.
Okay.
The best way to review, do this, the best review is to go over all the old quizzes.
Okay.
And then the test questions will be very similar, not the same, but very similar to the quiz question.
But you're not gonna put questions from the access code, right?
No. It's all the quizzes on the D12. So all those quizzes, go back to it, study it, and then if you understand every question on the quiz, you do fine on the test. That's so what I would do on the test questions, I would take some of the old quiz questions, I'll modify it. Yes, if you understand the quiz question, you find the test.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
And
No problem.
also the problem, right?
No problem.
It's a problem like article and.
Oh, yeah.
Question is gonna be almost the same.
Almost.
Well, different names, right?
Different names, different numbers.
Okay.
But you know how the math works.
Okay, thank
No
you.
problem. See you later. All right, let's see who's here today. Quiet. All right, so let's see what we have. So Kim is here, Alma is here, Gabriel is here. So Yasmin is here, Daisy, Nathaniel, Jose, Danny, Samuel, Matthew, and Jonathan. All right, so does anybody have any questions to ask me for this week before we finish today? And then guys, remember what I said in the lecture that next Thursday, we're gonna have an extra points opportunity. So there will be a guest speaker at the North Harris campus. So next Thursday from 12:30 to 1:30. If you come, stay for the whole session, and I'll give you 5 points on your first test, okay? All right, so does anybody have any question to ask me? Let me wait a little bit, there is a delay. All right, okay, so guys, if no questions, let's end it here, and I will see you guys again this time next week. So before that, have any questions, feel free to email me. All right, guys, see you later. Bye-bye.